Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it has been what feels like forever since I've sat down and filmed, definitely since I've uploaded, and I've been wanting to film this video for like the longest time, but every time I think I have the chance to film, something happens and I can't film it. So I have the chance to film today and I'm excited because I've been wanting to film this video. I haven't been able to use the product that I want to use in this video. So a while ago I made a video giving my first impressions of the ColourPop No Filter complexion range, in particular the foundation, and ColourPop recently came out, it's probably been like forever by the time this video goes up, recently came out with a no filter stick foundation. Very excited, so I picked one up and I'm going to do a similar video to what I did before. But what I really want to do in this video, apart from just generally trying this out to see what it's like and if I like it, I want to compare it to the original foundation and see how it compares color-wise and application-wise, coverage-wise, and things like that. Before we get into actually applying both of these, I want to do a couple of swatches to compare. Okay, so I've done 4 different swatches. So if I can get this to focus, so the first swatch up here is the regular foundation. I have the shade Light 60. Then this shade here is the No Filter Concealer, which I have in the shade Light 12. Then this one here is the stick foundation, which I have in the shade Light N40. And then this bottom shade here is actually the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless foundation in the shade 122 Creamy Beige, because that is the shade that I matched the foundation to. So just to tell you guys how I figured out all these colors, to get the No Filter foundation, I matched the color. So to get the ColourPop No Filter foundation, I matched it to the Maybelline foundation, and this is the shade that ColourPop recommended me, telling me that I think it wasn't as peachy, which you can sort of tell here. Then ColourPop, because ColourPop had recommended this shade to me, they spit out shades in the rest of the No Filter range that would match, so that's how I got the concealer. So then when I went to buy the stick foundation, I could have put in the Maybelline foundation and made it tell me which foundation, but I decided to match it to the other products that I use from ColourPop, and it gave me this one, which matched to, I think, just this foundation and 2 concealers. I think that's how it worked. So as you can see, they are all very different shades, which is quite interesting, like that these are all meant to be like relative matches, but they're all very different, but not too crazy, like they still all suit me. So right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to now apply them to my face. I already have got my primer on. I'm using the ColourPop All Star Matte and Blur Primer. I really like this primer, it is really, really good. So I'm going to firstly apply the original foundation just to get it out of the way. I don't really have depth perception when I'm looking at the viewfinder, especially when there is like the box, the focus box, just sitting there tormenting me. Now, I said this in my previous video, I feel like this foundation is a relatively good match. If anything, it is probably just the slightest bit too dark, which going into summer I'm not mad about. I do definitely want to probably go up a shade lighter. I don't know how well you guys can see on camera. I do definitely want to go up a shade lighter, particularly for the winter. But I don't have to worry about that just yet. In general, I really like this foundation. It wears pretty well, although I do find some days my skin decides it's going to be really annoying and out of focus, and it gets a bit annoying and really oily. Some days are more oily than others, and on those sort of days the foundation doesn't wear as well, but in general it wears pretty well. I really hope these 2 foundations don't look drastically different on my face, because I'm going to film more videos after this and it'll look weird, but anyway, looks alright. Right, I'm going to go in with my concealer and set this side down first, just because this is a bit of a, it is meant to be a matte foundation. It does dry down a little bit, so I don't really want want it to dry too much before I put my concealer on. See, you can tell like the concealer is sort of a bit too light here. I will say the concealer does dry down to be a bit of a darker than what it looks. Which, I don't know, if that's something that bothers you, probably don't get this. Seriously, I love the coverage of this. Okay, before we get too far, I'm just going to set that down with the ColourPop No Filter setting powder. And I just used the DB Cosmetics powder blush brush from the, I think it's the Dream Collection. Anyway, so now that that's done, that's what that looks like. As you can tell sort of by the line down my face, it is like a little bit off my skin tone, sort of, I don't know. Now I'm going to go in with the stick foundation, which I've not used a stick foundation ever. I used to use a stick concealer back in the day when I started getting into makeup, and it was alright. Wasn't the best. We're gonna try this. Now I do know that beauty blenders don't really work well with stick foundations, but I do have a foundation and a buffing brush. This is this one by Designer Brands. I don't really like using a brush for my foundation, so we will see how this goes. I also don't know how much of this to apply. Like, is that enough? Is that not enough? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to try this to see how well it does work. Oh, not too bad actually. Sort of, but not really. It's kind of like not the best, because you kind of have to pick up the product and drag it a little bit. But it's not as difficult as I thought it would be. Straight off the bat though, these are two different shades of foundation. Just saying, like, not drastically different. I'm gonna try the brush just to. Does that not look like two different shades on my face? Does this side not look lighter than the other? I don't know what to think about that. Not mad, because it still kind of suits my skin tone, but when you have both of them on your face, it's a little bit weird. I also don't know how I feel about brush application. I think I need a little bit more. I will say this, I don't think it has as full a coverage as the other one. Okay, what do we think? Not bad. It's not as full of coverage, but it's also not, I don't know. Let's try now with the concealer, because I do need it under my eyes. Is it just me, or is they two different colors? Like, that's what it looks like to me. One is a little bit more tan than the other. This is like winter on this side, summer on this side. I think I need to just blend them together a little bit more. Otherwise, this is gonna like... That's a little better. It's interesting, like these are color matched. I will say I think there are 40, don't quote me on this, I might put up on the screen if I remember. I think there's 40 of the regular foundations and I think 30 of the sticks, so it's not like one stick for every foundation, so that'd be why like the coloring's a little off. But it is really interesting just to sort of see how different they do look. I also don't know how well this is going to dry down. Actually, it's not too bad. What do we think? Alright, I'm going to finish off my look just to kind of see what happens. But so far, I'm not mad about it. I mean, I do like the foundation, like the original foundation, and I feel like this one might be pretty good maybe for the summer, because feels a little bit more lightweight. It even looks a little bit more lightweight. I don't really know. I don't know. Right, let's finish this off. Okay, I think I'm finished my look, so you would have seen me actually apply all this, but I will just go through quickly what products I was using. So for my brows, I used the ColourPop Brow Boss in the shade Dark Brown. For my bronzer, I used the Maybelline Master Bronze palette, and that is actually where I noticed that this side is a lot lighter than this side, because I pretty much put the same amount of bronzer on each side and it was a little bit more extreme on this side. And I actually applied that with this DB brush. I don't even know what it's called, but it's a really good brush for doing bronzer. Then my eyes is also a new addition to my ColourPop collection, and that is the Good Sport palette. It's their fall palette. It is absolutely stunning. I think I went a little bit crazy with my eyes. I'll do a close-up in a minute. But I essentially used this purple for the bulk of my lid, which is called Sister, and this one to give me a bit more depth, which is called Reckless. And then, oh my god, this is my favorite shade on like the inner corners. I used this shade Reckless. Actually, I'm gonna swatch it because it's so beautiful. Look at that. Oh my god. Look at that. Oh, it is amazing. Beautiful. Focus. See this palette, first time playing around with it, really like it. Then on my lashes, I used the Maybelline The Colossal Volume Express mascara. It's the cat eye one. Highlight is the ColourPop Super Shock highlight in the shade Lunch Money, and lips was the ColourPop Ultra Matte Lip in the shade YWYD. So let me just do a bit of a close-up for you all. Oh god. So this is the side that had the stick foundation on it, and this is the side with the regular foundation on it. You can definitely tell it is lighter. Like if I sort of go here, you can sort of tell that it's lighter on this side, which not mad about. And you can definitely see, like, there's my bronzer there. And you can definitely tell my bronzer is on this side. I definitely feel like my forehead is where you can really see my line of bronzer across the top here. Like, it looks natural there, and then here it's just a little bit much. I may have been a little bit heavy-handed. So then that's my eyes. I just, as I say, a little bit heavy-handed with my eyes, but really like it. So yeah. So overall, I quite like the foundation. I do obviously have to play around with it a little bit more. I will be interested to see how well this wears, but I think it will wear pretty well. I haven't heard too many reviews about the foundation, the stick foundation, but I'm really happy with it. While I feel like just looking at the two foundations side by side, obviously from my swatches you can tell they are two different shades. I definitely don't think it's too crazy, this one. It sort of definitely suits me just the tiniest bit more. I think it's when like you have them side by side that it's a little bit ridiculous, but together they look really fine. I find it quite interesting that like I was matched this shade when like this is the shade I'm using. As I say, it's not too crazily different, but you know, you can definitely tell it is a little bit different, but otherwise I'm really happy with this. I'm definitely going to be using this foundation more. One of the things I'm interested in is that ColourPop promoted this as the stick foundation as like if you get 3 different shades you can pretty much do your entire face, so your foundation, your contour and your concealer, which I'm interested in trying that. I just need to work out which shades to get. I wish they could tell you like if you have this shade you have to go like 2 shades lighter and 2 shades darker. I wish they would sort of tell you that, so I don't get like something that is too light or something that is too dark. But anyway, I'm quite happy with this. I'm quite happy with this look, to be honest. If you guys enjoyed this video, let me know if you've used any of these ColourPop products, what your thoughts are on them. If you've used the stick foundation, what's your thoughts on it? And yeah, if you've never tried anything by ColourPop, I definitely recommend checking them out. I feel like the Holy Grail product you need from ColourPop is a shadow palette, because it's so beautiful and so pigmented. But yeah, this foundation, really good. The only thing ColourPop need to bring out now is a mascara, and I could do like my whole face with ColourPop. So yeah, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and let me know if there are any other makeup type videos you want me to do. I'm not a beauty guru, but I do like playing around with makeup. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon with another video. Bye!